You're listening to The Jay Palmer Show.
Wow. That is an old movie. Damn. What is up, guys? I'm watching Coneheads. I didn't realize how old that movie was. 1993. The hell did I just drop? 93. I was 10 years old. 1993. I think I went to Washington, D.C. in 1993. Pretty sure I did. I think that was 93. It was when Clinton was still... Yeah, Clinton was in the White House, because I remember staying outside the White House, and we heard that there's a car coming, and we waited, and Hillary Clinton came out. And we waved, and she waved, and that was the end of it. Not the trip, but... it was a good time. I actually want to go back to Washington, D.C. I'm trying to think of another trip I can do this year. I've taken a lot of trips to weed legal destinations, which, that's just what I do. That's what I am. I'm not weed, but that's what I currently do. But I've been trying to figure out, like, maybe I need to go to the East Coast. Like, do I really want to go to Florida? I know I want to go to. Gulf Shores, Mississippi, Alabama. Gulf Shores, Mississippi, Alabama, something like that. It's down there in the panhandles of Florida and Mississippi and Alabama. It's in there. It's in there somewhere. I've heard that's a really nice beach. And I just want to go check it out. I'm not much of a beach person. Like, I don't enjoy sitting out there picking sand out of my butthole and watching people get drunk and make out and all that stuff. I it's just not me, man. I'm obviously a mountain person, not because of the legalization of marijuanas, but like I enjoy Sorry, I watched it. She just swallowed a sandwich whole. I need a sandwich in my life. Damn. I just like the mountain air. I like the coolness. I don't like being like uncomfortable. I don't like being like sticky and sweaty. Like, that's just not my thing, man. It's not my thing. But yeah, I don't know. I thought about a trip to New York City. Man. Okay, here's the deal. Like, you guys probably know by now that I don't really consider myself anything. Really. Or anything. But like, so I was looking. I like the Google Maps. I like to like go into Street Views and Google Maps and just drive, just like simulate myself around and just see stuff. Like, I'm a Google Maps tourist, I guess that's what you can call it. So I got curious about public housing and like how that works, or no, just not public housing, but like New York City, like how much rent costs in New York City, and then like what is because I've never really looked at public housing because it's never been a thing for me. So I looked, and I'm just like, the average New York City apartment price is like what, $2,000 a month. You can get $1,500 for a real small apartment, and like for $2,000 a month, I can get somewhere in uptown New York that's like 400 square feet. Like, it's literally just a room. And I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, I understand the free market, and I'm okay with the free market. But what I have a problem with the free market is we have all of these homeless people. We have all these homeless people with jobs. With like jobs that pay them what? 25,000, 30,000, 20,000 a year. And they can't even live anywhere. They're literally, there's like an entire culture now of people living in their cars. They like take pride in this living in your car thing, and I understand it. Like I've obviously considered living in an RV. That's what I still am looking into. I just think the price of the RVs are a little over. They're just overpriced, and I think that's because of what I'm just saying. Is like there's an entire culture that's like all about living other than a house, and that's because the goddamn house prices are so expensive where people can't live in the damn house anymore. And I'm like that's a problem, man. That's like I don't think people understand like the overall societal problem that is like a house is more than just a place to lay your head at night. It's more than just a piece of this idea of money. A house is a foundation to start something. To start something that could be strong, that could be really just something good for the community. And we're just it's not that, and that's a big societal problem. I think it's stupid. It's a stupid fucking problem, man. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, so what is this public housing thing? So I looked at it, and I started like looking at Reddit and seeing how people do this, and like there's actually apartments in New York City for $300-400 a month. I'm like, and these apartments aren't bad. I mean, there's some that are horrible. They're pretty shitty. But there's some decent brand new apartments for $400 a month. And I don't understand why if there's like a 5-month waiting list for people who pay that much to pay that amount, to pay $400 a month. What is the deal? Why can't apartment owners and real estate people think about this for a second? Think about it. I want you to think about it for a second. Let's say I have an apartment with 15 units. And let's say we charge people $2,000 a month per unit. And okay, so you get what did I say 15. Let's say you get 5 people. Let's just say you fill 5 of those units for what I say $2,000 to $1,500. Let's do $1,500. No, let's do $2,000 because it sounds more New Yorky. Let's say we put those 5 units for $2,000 a month. You know, and those are all the units you could fill because the economics of it says that society can't pay that much. Like, you think you'd fill more units charging $400, $500 a month than you would charging the $2,000 a month. Because if there's a 6-month waiting period for people to pay $400 a month, you think a developer would say, yeah, it'd be smart of me to say to put somebody in there and charge them $500 a month. If you 400 square feet, come on, people. I mean, that's not that much. I hope that made sense. I'm drunk as fuck right now. To be honest with you. I'm not only drunk, I took 2 puffs of weed or of my shit too, so not my shit, my little shit, but my pen. So I'm a little drunk and high right now. It's a little different. It's not bad yet, but I'm still waiting. So I just don't get it, man. Like, why? I understand economics. I understand the free market. I think like I said, I think the free market is good. The free market creates, it creates innovation, but at the same time, like, we are suffering because of it. Like, the one thing that we hold on to is the same thing that's causing all our suffering. And that's stupid. I mean, I'm not in. I am in no way. I don't in no any way consider myself like a communist or like. I'm social in some things. The more I think about it, the more I'm for, some kind of public. Am I really for public health care? Because, and especially, I don't know what it's like in Europe, but in the U.S., there's an entire segment of people who identify with whatever their sickness is. And that's them. They're in and out of the hospital and all that stuff. And I think a public healthcare system would be unhealthy for those types of people because they would literally be a drain on the system, and I don't see that as a good thing. But if you're a generally healthy person, it's completely fine. But the whole thing is like, I don't know. I can't say that. I was gonna say like, what is the stats in like Europe where there is social health care and all that stuff, and the segment of the population that I'm talking about. I don't think anybody's ever done a survey on the segment of the population that I'm thinking about. I guess the only way to help those people is to like teach them like, don't identify with your sickness. You're not your sickness. If you think if you sit there and identify with being sick, you're going to be sick all the time because you're telling your body to be sick all the time. And it's not. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. That's just. I don't like. I don't know. I just don't. I don't agree with that mindset. It's frustrating because it just makes people like me have to push you around the hospital. And but then again, like, here's the thing: there's two sides of everything. Like, I wouldn't have a job if there wasn't sick people. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, I literally would not have a job if sick people didn't exist, because that's what I do. It's what I do for money. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just frustrating, man. It's fucking frustrating. So I don't know what I was doing, but I was like interested in like 50s, like, no, I think I was thinking about like all this stuff about women's rights and stuff like that, and like all of these like controversial groups that are trying to like battle against something. And don't get mad at me here. I'm all for women's rights. I'm totally for it. But I was sitting there watching a documentary about the 40s and the 50s and like the home life, and I was trying to figure out what was wrong with a housewife. I'm not saying that every woman should be a housewife, but I'm saying that like it was literally a need of the time. It was like that was basically that time. It's like we need like it just fit the time. And I don't like women weren't like in their houses demanding they have jobs. I honestly think that like I don't know. I just feel like that like the whole campaign against women's rights is just I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just don't like the whole victim mentality. And I see from like a different perspective of most people. I'm like the ball. Like I'm holding a ball. Like the ball is Earth. Hold on, I'm getting a ball. Not my ball, but not one of my balls. I have a ball though. Like I'm holding a ball in my hand, and the ball is like life. The ball is like Earth, and I'm like above it. I'm not saying I'm better than it. What I'm saying is I see above it. I see the good and the bad, and this guy against this guy, and I see the same cause. I see the same thing. I don't see right and wrong. I just see I just see what it is. And every like I feel like every conflict is fabricated. That's where I'm at right now. I feel like it's just fabricated. I don't, it doesn't matter which side starts it or ends it. I feel like it's fabricated. I feel like it's stupid. It doesn't mean anything. And that's just like the whole idea of patriotism and the whole idea of we're better than them. And then if I guarantee if you lived in Russia, we would be the bad guy and you would be the good guy. It's just stupid. I see it, I understand it, and I think it's stupid. I'm not saying I'm not better than it, though. I'm not saying that I'm better than everybody else. I'm just saying it's stupid. Like, what is the point, man? Like, what? Like, to just take America for example. America was founded based on being treasonous, was being a criminal. We're basically getting independence is criminal. We committed treason to do it. Now we have this entire government. We have a government that will put people in prison for the same thing that they were battling. Sorry, my computer just shut off. I needed to turn it back. They were battling the same thing. Like, they're holding you or whoever accountable for the same thing that they were breaking to become independent. I mean, the whole idea of government is the same concept as like the mafia. I pay the mafia for protection. I'm not saying I do because I don't, but let's say I do pay the mafia for protection. I'm essentially paying the government for the same thing. Like, I pay the government to keep my roads good and to keep burglars out of my house, and then if my house gets on fire, I call them and they'll put it out for a price. I pay them a yearly, monthly, paycheckly. That's not even a word. I pay them a certain amount in a paycheck every single week. How's that any different than the mafia? You pay them for protection. Yeah, the mafia probably doesn't have a fire department. But it's the same fucking thing, dude. And I think my biggest issue is like, okay, so I'm able to see above it all. And my whole idea is like, if some people are able to see all this stuff I'm saying, I sound real fucking delusional, man. I'm like I was just thinking, it's like, what I need to do is if I truly do see above it all, why don't I choose something to fight for? And there's nothing worth fighting for. Like, I don't see anything worth the trouble. Like, that's the thing, dude. Actually, no, I guess I do find something worth the trouble. I'm putting this stupid podcast on the internet and talking about this topic, whatever it is the fuck I'm talking about. Maybe that's my cause. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that is my cause. Like, I don't live freely. Like, don't. Like, why? Just ask yourself why. Why? And it's all fake, man. But get out there and enjoy it, kind of thing. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now. holding this ball in my hand. It's called a boating ball. I like use it for like hand stuff. You know, there's some people who say like, "Well, man, he lacks empathy," and it's like, I don't lack empathy. I totally empathize with everybody, but the whole thing is like I think I just see it as good guys and bad guys. Like I don't get it, man. I just don't. Like, just watch any TV show, and every premise of every TV show is there's a good guy and there's a bad guy. And every TV show, in the middle of the show, about 30 minutes in, if it's an hour, about 15 minutes in, if it's not an hour, there'll be a breakthrough moment where you think the bad guy is going to win. But they don't. The bad guy never wins. But you gotta ask yourself, were they ever the bad guy? That's the question. Like, was the bad guy ever the really bad guy? Were you fighting for a better cause than what they were fighting for? That's a that's like a thing, dude. Like, you really got to think about that for a second. And you deal with this every day you leave your house to go to your job, whatever. There's always an in group and an out group. There's always an in group and an out group. And each side is fighting for their cause. Whatever that is. One side wins. And they start there. They're all happy and great, and then another side comes in, and they're no longer the good guy. They're the technically to them they're the good guy, but to the new group they're the not good guy. And I think the only way that you can really gauge whether you're doing good. See, that's another thing, dude. That's like, if you think about it, like, I was gonna say, like, the only way to you can't break free from it, because if you're any side, I was gonna say, if you bring joy to yourself and to people around you, that's good. Bring joy to you and yourself and people around you. That should be your end goal. But that's the thing, is like, what are you doing to bring joy to yourself and to those around you? Because every horrible deed on this planet has been created or done with the idea of I'm doing good for myself and for whatever the cause that I believe in. Think about that for a second. I know it's a horrible thing to think about, but just think about that for a second. I mean, just because that you live in, I take America for example. Just because we talk about freedom and red, white, and blue doesn't mean we're 5 seconds away from tyranny. Are we already living in tyranny? That's the thing. You have to ask yourself that. There's a whole lot of shit that's going on right now that you probably don't even know about. I mean, I'm not saying I don't love America, because I do, because I've given an opportunity to be me. But at the same time, is there people suffering? Yeah, it's fucking hard, man. It's hard to live. People will say, well, working hard is the price to pay to live in America. Really? People in government want you to work hard, because the harder you work, the more tax money they get. That's how that works. Why does the Conehead look like Abe Lincoln? Oh, fuck. Sorry. So I just, man, just think about it. Just think about it. So I've like on Sunday mornings there's a Taoist ministry that I stream online, and it's been great. Like what I'm finding great about Taoists, about this particular, actually that's the only one I've ever found, but there's no like production to it. There's just a message. That's it. There's just a message. Like if you go to a church, there's music for the first 15 minutes, and then there's like, hey, give me all your fucking money without putting a gun to your head kind of thing. You'll burn in hell if you don't give me money. There's none of that. And then there's a sermon for the next 30 minutes or whatever. Or there's a sermon for the next 25 minutes, and then another 5 minutes of music, and then, burn in hell if you don't give me money kind of stuff. There's none of that. It's just, what the fuck? There's just a message, and that's it. And I'm really liking it, but I noticed this morning he's starting to I think this guy has like a little bit of like Western religion in him or something, because he's starting to sound like a lot less Taoist was what I'm saying. I'm trying to stay as far to the beginning of Taoism as I can without being influenced to come further from it. Because that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem with religion. Is the longer the religion is, the less from its original intent or its original idea it is. So if you want to get into great religion, start it now yourself, and then believe in it, sell the shit out of it, and then you'll be immortal for fucking ever, for 2,000 fucking years, man. What the fuck? You just got to be that's how you start a religion. On that note, where the frick? See, this is why I need to do my shit. This is why I need to get organized. I need to organize my life. I need to organize it. Where's fuck? I don't know my alphabet apparently very well. There it is. Jesus Christ.
The Jay Palmer Show is hosted on Podbean.com. Download the app on iOS and Android.
Check it out on Facebook. Like, subscribe to Facebook, or subscribe to whatever it is you got to do on this podcast. The funny story is, I don't listen to podcasts. I don't even know how to work a podcast other than my own. I don't know how to subscribe to them. I don't do any of that. So yeah, do whatever you got to do on here. Subscribe to the news feed, the RSS feed, whatever. Like it, subscribe, or whatever. I'll see you later.